Once upon a time, a poor widow and her young son Jack lived in a small, cozy cottage at the edge of a quiet village. They were very poor, and their only valuable possession was a gentle, sweet-tempered white cow named Milky White. One morning, Jack's mother sighed sadly and told Jack that they had no money left for food. "We must sell Milky White at the market today," she said, with tears in her eyes. Jack promised to be careful and set off toward the village market, leading Milky White by a soft rope. The sun was shining brightly, and the birds sang sweetly in the trees along the winding road. Along the way, Jack met a strange, mysterious old man who stopped to admire the gentle white cow. "I will trade you 5 magic beans for your cow," the old man whispered, showing Jack 5 colorful, glowing beans. Jack was fascinated by the glowing beans and eagerly agreed to the trade, feeling very pleased with himself. He handed the rope to the old man and hurried back home to tell his mother the wonderful news. But when his mother saw the beans, she was absolutely furious and began to cry. "We needed money, not useless beans," she cried out, throwing them straight out the window into the dark garden. Poor Jack was sent to bed without any supper, feeling terribly guilty and heartbroken. He lay awake in the quiet, dark room, wishing he hadn't trusted the mysterious old man. The next morning, a strange green light filled Jack's bedroom, waking him from his sleep. Suddenly, Jack gasped as he saw an incredibly massive beanstalk had grown up from the magic beans overnight. The beanstalk was so thick that it looked like a great wooden ladder stretching all the way into the sky. Without a second thought, curious Jack stepped out of the window and began to climb higher and higher. Jack climbed right through the thick, puffy white clouds and stepped out onto a strange new land. In the distance, standing tall against the bright blue sky, was a magnificent and giant stone castle. Jack tiptoed into the giant castle and found himself inside an enormous kitchen where everything was 10 times bigger than normal. The giant's wife was there, and because she had a kind heart, she gave the hungry boy some warm bread to eat. Suddenly, the whole kitchen began to shake with heavy, loud thuds. Thump, thump, thump. "Quick, hide," whispered the giant's wife, and Jack scrambled inside a massive copper pot just in time. The enormous giant stomped into the room, his wild ginger beard swaying as he sniffed the air aggressively. "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman," the giant roared in a voice like rolling thunder. His wife calmed him down, telling him it was just the smell of his dinner, and served him a huge feast. After eating, the giant brought out a large leather sack and began counting his shiny gold coins until he fell asleep. As soon as the giant was snoring loudly, Jack quietly crept out of the copper pot and climbed onto the table. He grabbed a small bag of the gold coins, slipped out of the castle, and hurried down the giant beanstalk. The gold helped Jack and his mother buy food. But weeks later, Jack decided to climb the beanstalk once more. This time, hiding in the kitchen, Jack saw the giant command a magical golden hen to lay a solid gold egg. When the giant fell asleep, Jack darted across the table, gently scooped up the magical hen, and ran as fast as his legs could carry him. The hen brought great comfort to Jack and his mother, but the mysterious beanstalk still called to him. On his 3rd trip up the beanstalk, Jack hid and watched the giant bring out a beautiful, ornate golden harp. The magical harp played the most wonderful, sweet music all by itself, lulling the tired giant into a deep slumber. Jack reached out and picked up the golden harp, intending to take it back home to share its beautiful music. Suddenly, the magical harp cried out, "Master! Master, help me!" And the giant woke up with a furious roar. Jack sprinted out of the castle with the harp, but the furious giant was right behind him, stomping wildly. Jack leaped onto the beanstalk and climbed down in a panic, while the enormous giant started scrambling down after him. "Mother! Mother! Bring me the axe, quick!" Jack screamed as his feet finally touched the solid ground of his garden. His mother rushed out of the cozy cottage, terrified, but quickly handing Jack their sharp iron axe. Jack raised the heavy iron axe high in the air and swung it with all his might into the beanstalk's thick stalk. Chop, chop! Jack chopped fiercely as the giant beanstalk began to groan and sway dangerously under the giant's weight. With one final powerful blow, the massive green beanstalk snapped completely and began to topple over. The clumsy, roaring giant lost his grip and fell backwards through the air, disappearing forever as the beanstalk crashed down. With the giant beanstalk gone, Jack and his mother were finally safe, and they even used their wealth to buy back their dear Milky White. Together with the magical golden hen and the wonderful singing harp, they lived a happy, peaceful, and very comfortable life ever after.